Okay, we are live. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. Today is Friday. Is it Friday? Holy shit, I am losing track of the days since I'm inside all the time. Yeah, today is Friday, March 27th, 2020. This is Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. My name is Jerome Ortega. You can find me at Phone Jerome on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, obviously, youtube.com/Phone Jerome. Today, we're going to talk about tech, and we're going to talk about some things that aren't so much tech, but we'll get into that. So, hope everyone's doing well today. It's just another one of those days. Today, I think, is like day 7 in quarantine. So, I pulled a couple stories. I actually read some of them, not all of them. But again, for people who are new to this, I usually pull stories or titles that seem interesting. And if they are, I'll go ahead and read through them, give you my thoughts, engage with the audience, all that kind of stuff. So let's get started. I am going to share my screen here. So the first story I have today is from The Verge, and it's titled "OnePlus phones are finally getting always on displays. The company is listening to its fans." I'm kind of divided on that. Maybe they are. Sometimes they are. They don't listen to me, though. So OnePlus fans have been demanding always on displays for years, and the manufacturer has finally caved in. OnePlus announced on Twitter today. Let's take a look at that tweet, actually, if they have it. So the top idea is always on display. We hear you, and our OS product team has replied. It's on our roadmap. So, okay. So a little thing here about people saying they want always on display. For me, it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's not a deal breaker for me either. But so let's see here. The always on display was the most popular idea submitted to OnePlus's ideas portal, receiving more than 999 likes. The portal allows users to submit suggestions for new software features and offers rewards for submissions that the company decides to implement. If you own a recent OnePlus model, you likely won't have to wait for new hardware. You likely won't have to wait for new hardware to get this feature. It'll be included in a future build of Oxygen OS, OnePlus's exclusive Android-based operating system, but it won't come without a cost. And always on display requires a lot of power, and strong battery life is currently one of the main attractions of OnePlus phones. OnePlus will need to figure out how to introduce the function without decimating your phone's battery, so it may be a while. The company wrote in a comment on the Ideas portal that it is working on fine-tuning AOD to make sure it is perfectly optimized. How do you guys feel about always on displays? Because the way I feel about it, if it does take battery life up, which it does, I think a good portion on my Pixel 4, I usually just turn it off. So I'm kind of in the middle here where if a feature is going to eat the battery, give it the option, or give us the option to turn it on and turn it off. I think that's an easy way to solve it. You can give that option to users now and then fine tune it as time goes on. I mean, I guess the con to that are people are going to bitch about it, right? Because you didn't fine tune it properly. So you can hold it off and wait, and then you're going to have that, I guess, bunch of people who are going to bitch that they don't have it. That kind of goes to show with the Galaxy S20, right? And using 120 hertz. I don't know. So it's give or take. I use it. I mean, I have used it on my Pixel 4, and it ate batteries so bad that, I had to turn it off. So that was my experience with it. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so let's move on. The next article I have here is from Android Central, and it's about eSIMs, or embedded SIMs. And it's kind of just an overview of what an eSIM is and why it's important for the future of mobile. I guess a quick synopsis here from Android Central says, an eSIM integrates the functions of a SIM card into a phone's hardware, making it easier and quicker to change phone service. My Pixel 4 has its eSIM. I think my iPhone 11 Pro also has eSIM, and I've never used it before. But having one allows you to not have a physical SIM card, which is great. Um, it's not something I've used yet, though. Using an eSIM can also make it easier to manage multiple phone services on one device. A budget phone with an eSIM is a Pixel 3a for $299, and an unlocked with pure Android eSIM phone, I guess, is a Pixel 4 at $595 at Amazon. So, what's an eSIM? For most phones sold today and in the past several years, a SIM card is included or provided by your carrier to tell the phone how to connect to the network and what service it gets. These SIM cards look like small memory cards. I'm sure you guys all know what eSIMs are or what SIM cards are, right? Maybe some people do or some people don't. I remember I was working with somebody who had an iPhone. He always gets the newest iPhones. And when I talked to him, and I was talking to him about a SIM card and just swapping it out, because he was like, hey, maybe one day I want to try an Android phone. And I was like, yeah, you should just get an unlocked one and then take the SIM out from your iPhone and swap it. He's like, but iPhones don't have SIM cards. I've never put one in. He seriously thought that iPhones didn't have SIM cards at all. And it's just because the carrier had always put it in for him, or the phone, I think, usually has one in there when you get it from the get-go. But anyway, a lot of times people just bring their phones to the carriers and they have no idea that their phones have an actual SIM card inside it. So these SIM cards look like small memory cards and usually slide into the side of your phone on a small tray. More recently, companies like Google and Apple have started to push an embedded SIM or eSIM as a better solution while still keeping a SIM card slot for compatibility. This eSIM can be activated by a carrier to receive service without the need to get a specific SIM card from the carrier. Your eSIM could either be activated remotely by the carrier, and in some cases could even be done automatically. This is actually something that I'm surprised that I haven't implemented yet. I don't know why it's taken me so long to not do this. Maybe just because it's pretty easy to just take the SIM out and then put it somewhere else, especially with how often I switch phones. Well, not lately, since I've been using my iPhone 11 Pro more than anything else, but that's just me. So why would I want an eSIM? One of the biggest reasons someone would want to have an eSIM is for easy access to new phone plans as needed. Some carriers provide phone service in an app and can activate services through your eSIM while you travel. This can allow you to keep your phone active on your standard line without risking massive roaming fees, which is great. Some people may also want to have multiple numbers active on one phone. So the one thing that I think you can do is you can put, so for example, my iPhone 11 Pro has a T-Mobile SIM card in it. And then because I'm pretty sure the iPhone 11 Pro has eSIM capability, then I can also use an eSIM to activate another phone service, and then technically I'd have two different phone numbers or two different carriers on one phone. This can allow, I read that sentence already. Some people may also want to have multiple numbers active on one phone. This can be great for someone that wants to be able to manage a business phone number and a personal phone number at the same time. So that's something that I do, which is why I always carry two phones on me. But I pay such cheap service for my phone. Like, every phone line that I have, I pay $21.24, and that's after taxes. So I have a pretty good deal with T-Mobile. So it's not the biggest dent in my wallet. But it says here, it can also be a big help for someone that wants to make sure they have a solid connection in more places, thanks to being able to access multiple networks, which is true. So again, for example, I have T-Mobile, and then if I wanted to add AT&T or like Verizon, I'm guessing, I don't know if Verizon does eSIM. I'm assuming all the big carriers do, but I don't know for sure. So then I could have two networks in case one goes down, or just better coverage overall. It says here, Google Fi can even use the eSIM in the Pixel 4 to improve coverage on its own service, which is awesome. Having access to an eSIM in other devices such as smartwatches, tablets, or even notebook computers can make it easier to have data on those devices without having to worry about which carrier you will use. To add to that, removing a physical opening in the side of a phone can improve water resistance, since current SIM trays rely on a gasket to keep water out. That's also a great point. If it doesn't get seated properly or deteriorates, water can get in. One of the main arguments against eSIMs is that people are afraid carriers will use the technology to lock phones out of activation on other carriers. I feel like that would be a big part of me is like, yeah, that's no surprise. A carrier would do that, but I'm sure there are legalities on just doing that, especially if it's a phone that you own and you're paid up with your bills. I don't know. I don't think that would be the biggest hurdle in the world, at least. While there is some plausibility to this, the end user is currently able to erase their eSIM on their own, making it possible to activate on another carrier. So that's it. eSIMs, guys. eSIMs. Okay. Next article I have here is from The Wired. This is a review for the Polaroid Now. This instant camera offers modern features like autofocus and a better flash in a classic colorful package. So for the longest time, I've actually wanted to carry one of these on me. A Polaroid, an instant camera where, this little slot here will like print out the picture for you kind of on the spot. It's something I've always wanted. And actually I was thinking about getting one because I have like this like white cabinet kind of thing here. And I was like, oh, I could put pictures or stickers or something and kind of give, since I'm here indefinitely because we're all quarantined, I can make it pretty and put stuff in the back. And I'm trying to move my hand to I always forget which direction, right here as I God damn it, I can't showcase the background. So this article from The Wired is giving this Polaroid a 7 out of 10. I haven't read this article yet, so I don't know how good this actually is. Camera looks pretty cool, though. Not going to lie. Like, walking around with this, people would be like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's a Polaroid? Oh, that's cool. Can you take a picture of me? I'll be like, no, bro, that's $2 for a picture because I got to buy film. And anyway, in 2008, Polaroid shut down its instant film production and factories, ending an era of photographic fun. But that era didn't want to end, and the appropriately named Impossible Project received first Polaroid film and then Polaroid cameras, whether it's nostalgia or genuine love. So for me, I think a big part of it is nostalgia. I've had disposable cameras back in the day, but I've never had a Polaroid. And the thought of taking that shot perfectly, or it's like, hell, let's see if it comes out right. I don't know. There's some kind of joy to that. I mean, I have my DSLR that's back there. And I love it because I can just snap like 8 million pictures and then pick the right one or pick the best one out of that. With a Polaroid, it's kind of like, this is your best shot, so take it. Shoot your shot, as they say. So the Impossible Project tapped into that love and achieved what Polaroid could not: success. In 2017, Impossible acquired the rights to the Polaroid brand as well as intellectual property and was reborn as Polaroid Originals. Now, Polaroid Originals is dropping the originals to once again be just Polaroid. Oh, that's great. Because I wasn't going to call it Polaroid Originals. It's a fucking Polaroid. The new Polaroid is more Impossible Project and less old Polaroid. Okay, I don't know much about this, so I'm not okay. Anyway, that's good news because old Polaroid became a sad endeavor toward the end, turning out plastic junk no one wanted. To kickstart life under its new name, the new Polaroid has launched the Now. Can I click on this? What is this going to bring me to? Dude, I like the design of this camera. I also like this old school logo here with all the colors. I don't know. Maybe it is nostalgia, but that looks pretty badass. I would definitely carry one of these around. Oh, that does look pretty cool. Okay, let me just I'm like getting into nostalgia right now. So the Polaroid Now isn't a huge design departure from the One Step 2. Which wasn't a huge design departure from the 1980s One Step 600. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Round it. And Round It Polaroid has, taking the classic lines of the One Step and adding tasteful curves. I don't know. It looks pretty fucking cool. I'm not going to lie. Dude, I would totally own one of those. The result is a camera that looks good and is reasonably comfortable to hold. It's also available in the full rainbow of color accents: white, black, blue, green, yellow, red, and orange. But while the classic design remains, the function and smarts in the Polaroid Now are a vast improvement over the One Step 2. The camera sports the usual Polaroid front face layout, with the viewfinder, the right eye of the face, extending out the back of the camera. This is matched on the opposite side of the front with a new, smarter flash. More on that in a minute. So I wonder how good the flash is going to work, because I'm a person who doesn't use flash. When I shoot with my DSLR, I never use flash. I try to find good lighting. I really should carry some kind of light source with me in more difficult lighting situations, but that's just another story. So the nose of the front design is the 35 to 44 millimeter autofocus lens. This is the biggest concession to the modern world. I'm not going to go through all of this. Future results. I can't. I would love to zoom into these. The Polaroid Now is a frustratingly good camera. Frustrating because, good as it is, I was still plagued by bad film. When I brought it up during the process of writing this review, several other Wired writers chimed in to say they haven't experienced many issues with Polaroid's film. I'm perfectly willing to say it's just me, but it is there. If I leave out what I call the misprints, the starbursts and spiderweb emulsion artifacts, the Polaroid Now has produced some of the best images of any instant camera I've used, especially the black and white film. I don't know, it makes me excited to read this, because it's like I want to shoot with it. I want to see what kind of pictures I can get. Why are there no pictures for me to look at? You're going to give me a 7 out of 10 rating and not give me results of your pictures, man. This is all I get to see. This is not fun. So which one should you get? To my mind, the real debate comes down to which ecosystem you want to invest in. Polaroid wins on size, no question. Polaroid images are gloriously big next to the Instax images, but the Polaroids are also considerably more expensive. $2 an image versus 80 cents per image with the Instax mini film. Color in both cases. That's a significant price difference over time, assuming you're going to shoot dozens, maybe even hundreds of images a year. It's a really good point. Still, if you want the classic look, I want the classic look, the classic size, and a classic camera. The Polaroid Now delivers on all counts. It's sad that I'm kind of in that boat where, oh, wait. So it says YouTube doesn't support comments on private videos. Am I missing comments here? Okay, I'm going to go look at comments in a bit, guys. I don't know who's been watching or not. So I don't know what happened. Why did I thought I made this public. There are people in the chat. Okay. Anyway, I think design still plays a big factor in a phone. I still want a phone that looks good, and cameras are no different. I still want a camera that looks good, right? I feel like that's important. Why am I not seeing my comments here? Hold on, guys. I'm going to get into chat right now. I don't know what I'm missing or who's talking or what. Yeah, there are comments. God damn it. 6. Dude, I can't even show my comments right now. Why? This kind of sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I can't show this. God damn it. Okay, 6 says Ketchup. You guys, I can't even show the comments on here. What's the point of fuck? Why? If I refresh this, is it gonna lose my stream? I don't know. I'm not gonna take that chance. So 6 says Ketchup. Brian says Mayomo Ketchup. 6 says if they were listening, they would bring back the headphone jack. It's not listening. It's just a way for OnePlus to go towards the $1,000 price point. 6, that's absolutely correct. I feel like they listen kind of. I don't feel like they're really listening. Javier, hey, welcome to the stream, Javier. Also 6 and Brian, welcome to the stream, guys. Javier says, I don't care for it. Also, OnePlus had it on their 3 and got rid of it later on. 6 says, to me, they seem like great devices. Just that OnePlus is going up in price, and the slogan to never settle or flagship killer isn't looking so well. Yeah, it's hard to call it a flagship killer when the price is so high at this point. Again, I'm putting my foot down, and I'm not buying a phone that's over $500 anymore. just my foot's down on that. And then I say that, and then when the Pixel 5 comes out or the new iPhone 12 comes out, I'll be like, maybe I'll lift my foot up. So I don't know. So let's see here. Javier says, also, I agree about the headphone jack, but it's gone because the company, like others, are making a profit for wireless. Very true. Brian says here, oh, Brian, by the way, thanks for the dollar super sticker or super chat yesterday. I missed it. I mean, I didn't miss it. I saw it at the very end, and I ended the stream, so I wasn't able to go through that. So I'm sorry, man. But thanks for the dollar super chat again. Thanks for all the support, guys. I guess I should chime in here and say, if you guys haven't, please like this video. Please share it. Subscribe if you haven't. I am losing subscribers like crazy. I think I lost 100 subscribers yesterday, and I lose about 25 a day because YouTube. I don't know. Either YouTube doesn't care or people don't give a fuck about me. I guess I shouldn't really care, but I'm giving that spiel. Please like, subscribe, share if you'd want to. I'm not forcing you to. I mean, you guys being here and staying in the chat means a lot to me as it is, so I appreciate it. Brian says, Jerome, sorry to sound like Will, but the Pixel batteries just suck. They do. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it, right? They're very subpar batteries, or it has subpar battery life. I wish there was a slow blinking dot on the screen that mimics a notification LED. A notification LED on a phone is something that I wish they'd bring back. That's a big gap, I feel. Phones left a long time ago with the headphone jack. Different colors for different notifications. Yeah, I mean, that's how I used to set my stuff up. I mean, maybe that's nostalgia. I don't know, but I thought it was really useful. Six says, when the LG V60 is under 1,000 and with a dual display and OnePlus Pro is rumored to be 1,000, Houston, we have a problem. LOL. Very true, man. Javier says a 3A isn't bad in terms of battery. I ran that for a while and it actually lasted longer than my Galaxy phone because of the processor. Yeah, that's a good point. Dude, the V60 has gone for $650 on Swappa. It's ridiculous. Simply your device. Mike. Hey, what's up, Mike? Welcome to the stream. Mike says, just wanted to quick stop in and say hi. Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? I know we were talking earlier not too long ago, so glad you could come by and say hi. Sorry, I can't post the comments on the stream. I don't know what I did. Something happened here, so I don't know. Brian says, he says, Mike, what's up? Happy Friday, and see you hopefully on Friday Night Tech Talk, but no pressure if you're exhausted. By the way, guys, tonight, Friday Night Tech Talk, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on. I'm going to be able to join them since I'm home now, but I'll be on a little later because I'm doing 3 live streams today. I have this live stream I'm doing now. I have my News.org live stream at 6 p.m. Central, and then that kind of runs until like 7:15ish. So as soon as I finish that live stream, I'm going to hop on to Friday Night Tech Talk. So it's a busy day for me today. Okay, let's see here. Will says, yo, Brian, good afternoon, everyone. Will, what's up, man? I don't know if you're still in the chat, but thanks for making the stream. Mike with the $2 super chat. Mike says, so Jerome can buy film. Mike, thanks, man. Yeah, maybe that's a new thing that I might want to buy and maybe even make a video on. I got to start making better, higher production videos. I need to really get on that. Yeah, so Mike says super chat is wide open. Mike, thanks for making it the stream, man. I appreciate it. Will LMAO, you broke the YouTube. Yeah, I don't know why I can't post my, god damn it. So if I could actually, I wonder if I could share this with you guys. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, this is Inception right now. But look, so it says here, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not. It says live viewer. Oh, I can't read it on my other screen because it's now gone. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Oh, no. YouTube doesn't support comments in private videos. I didn't make it private, so I don't know what the. So I'm going to have to switch back and forth. I can't see myself, but that's fine. All right. Moving on. Where did I go here? Oh shit, I didn't want to show that story yet. Okay. That's I'm doing some coronavirus stuff later, guys, and it's not all the greatest, but I want to talk about it because fuck it. I'm losing subscribers. I don't really care at this point. So I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. You guys want to hang on and chat? That's great. I love it. I wish I could share the chat so I could be involved, but I can't do it. So whatever. But thanks for stopping by, guys. Love you guys coming by and hanging out. So I have this article here from I have this article here from we're doing it live. I have this article here from Tech Dirt. Verizon is the only US wireless carrier charging extra for 5G. Does this surprise me that Verizon charges extra? Because Verizon's always the most expensive. I know they say they have the best network. I've actually never used Verizon because I just don't want to spend the money on it. Whether they do have the best network, I guess, has to be really seen. I think it did back in the day. I don't know if it does today. So by now we've established that while 5th generation wireless will result in faster, more resilient networks, the technology has been overhyped to an almost comical degree. I agree with this. There have been a number of articles or a number of videos where it shows that 5G could be faster in some instances. And then I've seen other videos where 4G is completely annihilating what 5G speeds are getting. So yes, faster, lower latency networks are a good thing, but 5G is not as paradigm rattling as most wireless carriers and hardware vendors have led many in the press to believe, because marketing, because they want to charge more money. So they're going to market the shit out of 5G and say it's the best thing that's ever come, and we're not there yet. 5G will probably get better, almost guaranteed. It's going to be much better than 4G, but it's not right now. It might not be until next year. It might not even be until the year after that. Who knows? So 5G is more of a useful evolution than a revolution, but it has become the equivalent of magic pixie dust in tech policy circles, wherein if you simply say, quote, it will lead to faster deployment of 5G, you'll immediately add gravitas to your otherwise underwhelming K Street policy pitch. The other major problem, Americans already pay some of the highest prices for mobile data in the developed world. This also doesn't surprise me because capitalism, because corporations are greedy, because I'm going to stop ranting about that because you guys hear me say it all the time. Now they're being asked to shell out a lot of cash for pricey new handsets with worse battery life, but more expensive data plans. It was already a difficult pre-pandemic proposition to explain why users happy with 4G speeds need to pay even more. Very true. I don't think a lot of people that I knew were complaining about their 4G network. I think most people were pretty happy with what they did. Let's face it, most people aren't doing the most heavy stuff on their phones, right? They'll watch a YouTube video here and there. I don't even think having the best quality on it is a deal breaker for a lot of people. But if they're not watching a YouTube video or something on Instagram, or for younger people going through TikTok, they're just doing stuff like Twitter or reading news stuff or checking email. It's not a big deal. But I guess I can speak for most people because I'm assuming that's what most people are doing. If you're doing something else on your phone, like, I don't know what you're doing that's taking up extraordinary amounts of data, but I think you're on an outlier, or you're in that outlier position there. So many carriers appear to have understood this. AT&T includes 5G for free on the company's 2 most expensive unlimited plans. T-Mobile has been offering 5G for no additional cost, though that could change post-Sprint merger on all of its unlimited plans. Verizon, in contrast, has been eager to charge users, I like how they put eager in there, an extra $10 per month for 5G. Initially, the company backed off this surcharge after some negative early press, but seems intent on imposing these surcharges, it claims, because 5G offers a, quote, differentiated experience. When you deliver a differentiated service, like 5G on Verizon, I don't think is worlds above at this point, right? They use millimeter wave, but you have to be line of sight in those specific cell towers. Am I not right in that? Verizon CFO Matt Ellis explained during a recent investor event. Ellis pointed to Verizon's recent demonstration of 4.2 gigabit per second speeds on its commercial 5G network, noting such speeds are dramatically faster than what Verizon offers even on its wired Fios network. There are several, this is a typo, there are several problems here. One, Verizon's quote launched 5G, I keep quoting, quote, one, Verizon's launched 5G markets have been repeatedly ridiculed for being spotty at best. So yeah, it might be fast, but it's spotty. So that's an issue. If it's spotty and you're not getting fast coverage, then what's the point? Why are you paying extra money? Even the company's 5G launches, even the company's 5G launches in sports stadiums have been ridiculed as patchy as hell. So again, issues with service. You're paying more money for what? Asking users to shell out significantly more money to access a network that is barely available doesn't make much sense, at least when you're trying to initially ramp up adoption, especially given that most users don't use much more than the top speeds 4G currently offers, anywhere between 10 and 30 megabits per second or so, which is what I was talking about earlier. I think the only issue that I have when I use T-Mobile is the best explanation or the best example is when I was at a Bulls game pre-pandemic before they closed the NBA. Like literally, I went to a Bulls game and I think the next week they suspended the NBA. But at that Bulls game, I couldn't get network inside the stadium. I had to walk outside, kind of like where they were selling food and beer. That was the only time I got reception. When I came back in, like nothing, just because there were so many people there. The other problem, while Verizon's best case 5G can theoretically offer speeds that rival fiber, quote, 5G as a standard behaves very differently depending on what kind of spectrum is being used to fuel it. For example, Verizon's making heavy use of millimeter wave spectrum, which struggles with range and obstacle issues like building walls. In other words, for many, the benefits of 5G won't be immediately obvious. Quote, one major factor complicating 5G pricing is the fact that the technology behaves very differently depending on what spectrum band it's in. For example, the speed of Verizon's network is due to the fact that it runs across wide swaths of high band, millimeter wave spectrum. Sorry, I didn't read that sentence as fluid as I could. While transmissions in this kind of spectrum only travel a few thousand feet in the best conditions, they can carry enormous amounts of data. While other operators like AT&T and T-Mobile have dabbled in millimeter wave 5G, Verizon is doubling down on the technology with plans to expand its 5G millimeter wave network to a total of 60 U.S. cities this year. Granted, with the T-Mobile Sprint merger reducing wireless competition by 25%, that will likely result in less serious pricing competition and more expensive plans. I think this is something that most people don't recognize. I know that a lot of people are kind of excited to see T-Mobile and Sprint merging, but when you do that, you're just taking these big monopolies or of companies, right? Forming essentially an oligopoly, right? Where you have two or three big main players and then they control the market. They control the pricing. They all work together to make sure that people pay up the ass. And I'm talking to you guys. So this is why you guys should care. I know there are a lot of people like, well, I don't care. You should fucking care. Like we need competition in today's society. Anyway, and charging already cash-strapped American consumers even more in the years to come. So 5G is here and it is going to be better technology. Whether or not it's going to be better, I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. So Brian says, can you break what is already broken? Yeah, YouTube is already broken. Six says it's comedy hour with Jerome. It is, man. This is the Jerome that you're about to see daily. So Mike says, Jerome, stream on, man. Gotta bounce. See y'all later. Mike, thanks for making the stream, man. I appreciate it. If you guys don't know, Mike and I, we host a standard every Sunday at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Mike's been really busy. So him and I, we've been trying to work on this and get this stuff together, but life's just been crazy because of everything that's been going on. I don't know if we're streaming this Sunday. If Mike and I are not streaming this Sunday, I will be streaming TNT Joe-Fi this Sunday. So FYI. Kit says, hell yeah, Jerome. Hey, Kit, what's going on, man? How you doing? If you guys don't know, Kit, Kit and I work together at Hard Lens. We are streaming tonight at 6 p.m. Central at Hard Lens Media, just in case you guys are interested. If you want to watch some politics, I'll be there too. They're much more versed in politics than I am, but I kind of sit there and I'm like, fuck this. No, that's awful. That's usually my comment. that's like my commentary on their show. No, this is disgusting. Okay, next story. And then they talk for the most of it. And I just sit there and I'm just like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. All right. Moving on. So, okay, this kind of goes hand in hand, not hand in hand, but we were talking about Verizon charging more for 5G. And now I have this article from Gizmodo that says AT&T and Cricket hit back against T-Mobile with their own $15 data plans. Earlier this week, T-Mobile launched its Connect plan earlier than expected, giving subscribers access to 2 gigs of mobile data for $15 a month. But now AT&T and Cricket are hitting back with their own $15 a month plans, along with a few other efforts to help people who may be struggling due to COVID-19. The new $15 a month package will be available today from both AT&T and Cricket as a prepaid plan that includes 2 gigs of data per month. So while this is a good, cheap plan, remember, you're only getting 2 gigs of data a month. That's not a lot of data for if you're going to be out and about and you're not going to be using Wi-Fi and you're going to be watching YouTube or, again, like, I don't know, Instagram stories or Instagram TV. I don't really know who watches that. But if you do that, that's going to eat up data. If you use TikTok, that's going to eat up data. If you use Twitch, that's going to eat up data. 2 gigs goes by really quick. So even though that $15 a month plan seems cheap, seems cheap. It is cheap. Seems enticing. Be careful, because if you're a heavy data user, I feel like this plan is only good for people who want to text message, make phone calls, and occasionally browse the web, and they don't do video streaming. And obviously I didn't even mention stuff like Netflix or Hulu. So the new $15 a month package will be available today. I just read that sentence. However, one important difference between AT&T and Cricket's new offering compared to the T-Mobile Connect plan is that after you use 2 gigs of mobile data, AT&T and Cricket will continue to give you access to data. So you're throttled, right? While T-Mobile's Connect plan has a hard shutoff. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought T-Mobile was still throttling you after the 2 gigs is used up. I didn't know they just shut it off completely. So that's a big negative there. I don't know if you guys have ever used, or I'll give you my experience. I have been on a plan a long time ago where they throttled you. So after you hit whatever, for example, let's say they give you 2 gigs of high speed data, and then after you use that, they throttle you like crazy. Yeah, forget using YouTube after that. Forget pulling anything really that important up, because welcome to 1996 or 97. Like, that's what it's going to be like. So again, be careful. But that's great that AT&T and Cricket at least gives you throttled access and they don't shut it off completely. Elsewhere, AT&T is hoping to alleviate concerns about people potentially running out of data during the pandemic by giving existing AT&T and Cricket customers an additional 10 gigs of data per month for the next 60 days. So that's great to see. Props to AT&T and Cricket for doing that, especially during this pandemic. This includes both postpaid and prepaid plans and covers both standard mobile data and mobile hotspot data, but critically excludes the new $15 a month 2 gig plan. Wait, so can you get this on the 2 gig plan? Yeah, but critically exclude, so it doesn't. That means you can sign up for AT&T and Cricket's new super cheap plan and instantly get. Oh no, you can. Why? My brain is just not completely there. So it says, yeah, that means you can sign up for AT&T and Cricket's new super cheap plan, the $15 a month plan, and you get 12 gigs of data for $15 for at least 2 months. So I'm not telling you to switch your plan now, but let's say you're in a pinch. This gives you that option, 12 gigs of data for the next 2 months. So it's not the worst plan in the world right now, especially for what they're offering. But remember, that's only 2 months. And then you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do after. Additionally, both existing customers, subscribers, and new customers who sign up for AT&T's Unlimited Plus plan before April 26th will get an extra 10 gigs of mobile hotspot data for 60 days, with people who sign up after April 26th getting that extra 10 gigs of data for just 30 days. While a lot of people are staying home due to the virus and largely relying on their home Wi-Fi for data, it's still nice to see AT&T add a bit of additional flexibility for those relying on their phone data. Very true. I don't have the nicest things to say about companies like AT&T or whatever, but props to them for giving customers a little more, especially during this pandemic. Okay, Kit says rock and roll. Will LMAO. Brian, did anyone see that Zoom is selling your data to Facebook? Brian, I'm going over that today. Settle down, Brian. I saw your message on Patreon. I'm going over that. Hey, George, what's up, man? George, FYI, this is a very different Jerome today. I'm just warning you. But hi, George. Welcome to the stream. I plan on joining you and Will tonight for FNTT, Friday Night Tech Talk. So again, for you guys who are watching, I'm going to be streaming with these guys later tonight, Friday Night Tech Talk. So, come stop by. I don't know who's hosting it. Is George hosting it tonight? Anyway, we'll have a link up. Andrew KPW. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Andrew. How's it going? Also, sorry, guys. I can't post your comments on my stream. That's something that I love doing, but StreamYard, they fucked me today. So I just have to read them to you. So just imagine they're on the screen. I mean, you get this lovely face talking to you. So, okay, George is hosting tonight. Oh, we have another guest. Who's our guest? Is that a secret? Are you able to tell? Is it 267? Tell me it's 267. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Everyone, welcome to the stream. George, I'm joking about 267, but if you're gonna have 267, I'll take 267. So, a first timer to streaming. Oh, okay. So we're gonna break that streamer's cherry. Okay, I'm moving on. This article from Droid Life says Duo up support from 8 people to 12 in some same video chat. Okay, so more people. It's a clusterfuck of people talking in one room. I work at a news org and we are running remotely right now. And there are 5 of us. Sometimes there are 5 of us on stream at the same time. And we're pretty good about giving everyone a turn to talk. I cannot imagine what it's like having 8 or 12 people in the same video chat. That's still great though. I'm not hating on that. That's great to see, especially when people are working remotely from home right now and people need a place to do work and talk together and teleconference and all that kind of stuff. It's great to see. So Google announced today via Twitter that it's upping the amount of people that can be inside the same video chat on Duo, bringing the total up to 12 from 8. One of Google's senior directors of product states that, quote, "We recognize group calling is particularly critical right now." Yes, it is. They're not wrong. With many stuck at home, video chatting is a good way to get that face-to-face interaction we all crave. Enjoy, Duo lovers. Oh, that's it. So yes, 8 to 12. What other input do I have in here? I used Duo 1 time, maybe 2 times, and it worked really well. I should really use it more. I don't really have much else to say. It seems like a pretty good video chat. I didn't use it for a long time because I've been very skeptical of Google lately, and they keep dropping their products, and it's hard for me to support a product that Google puts out because I'm afraid that like 2 days later, they're going to be like, we're done supporting it. Go fuck yourself. So I've been using StreamYard to stream for video chat. And I also use it just for video chatting with my team. So, yeah, I mean, I should look into it. So that's it. Okay, George says just shared the Keep document with you. Thanks, George. I'll take a look at it a little later today. So, yes. Okay. Again, appreciate you stopping by. So, next story. Okay, This article from Engadget: Tesla's Autopilot could soon detect traffic lights. A video shows a Tesla stopping autonomously at a red light. It looks like Tesla's Autopilot, this is articles from Engadget, if you haven't noticed, it's right up here. It looks like Tesla's Autopilot feature will soon be able to recognize traffic lights. A video shared on Twitter shows a Tesla cruising through several green lights and slowing to a stop when it detects a red light. There is some speculation that Tesla will include the feature in its next Autopilot update. Is this it? Yes, it is. Oh, I don't have audio enabled. Damn it. I mean, I guess we don't really need audio. We just need to see it stop at a red light, right? But why is it so 55 seconds long? Can we fast forward here? Okay. So green light. I want to see that there's no driver though. Can you show me that like no one is controlling? Well, I guess somebody's sitting there. It's just going to do it by itself. Obviously, they're not going to be um irresponsible and not have somebody there just in case. I don't know what I was expecting. Like, yes, obviously it's going to stop at the red light. Like that's what we're talking about. So, cool. That was very anticlimactic. The article says it's going to stop at detect traffic lights. So what else am I going to expect during this video? Yeah, of course it's going to stop at the light. Like that's what it's there for. Tesla's Autopilot can already recognize other cars on the road, and last fall an update allowed it to stop or to spot traffic cones. If you use Navigate on Autopilot, your EV will also plan lane changes to avoid those cones. Of course, it's probably best not to put your full faith in features like these. Yes, which is very true. Again, they're putting this stuff in there, but this doesn't mean that you can go like lay in the back seat and take a nap. Somebody needs to be at the seat. Users and groups like Consumer Reports have raised a few red flags, and the National Transportation Safety Board went as far as to blame Autopilot's design as a contributing factor in at least one fatal Tesla crash. Still, Tesla is pushing to have fully self-driving cars on the road soon. Elon Musk previously said they'd be ready in 2019, and that over a million robo taxis would arrive in 2020. It's fair to say that most bets are off for 2020, but updates like the ability to stop for red lights will get us one step closer to fully autonomous vehicles. What I like about this though is it's great to see the technology get this far where cars are pretty much driving themselves. I just wonder how they're gonna I don't know how well they're gonna drive in cities like Chicago. I asked this question actually to my news team before, but I'm still hesitant on how it's going to work because especially in the city of Chicago where we get a lot of snow and like slush or ice on the road, I don't know. And like, especially when it snows here and then they lay salt down and then that salt gets on the cars. And I don't know if you guys know, if you live in a city that has snow and then that salt gets everywhere on the car. Like it makes your car dirty, like super dirty. And I can just imagine it like fucking with the sensors on an autopilot car. But I don't know, maybe they figured that out. Maybe if a sensor isn't detected, they're like, go clean my shit first because I'm not driving it autonomously until you clean the sensors off is my guess. So, again, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see here. So Will said an accident. I don't know what that's in reference to. Is it the car driving? Daniel says if this was a job Biden video, the Tesla would have gone 10 feet into the intersection before it started reversing before crashing into the car behind it. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the stream. Daniel, FYI, I can't put comments into the video. And remember yesterday when we were talking about putting a video in private first and then public? I think that's what I tried doing here. I was thinking about it as I was doing the stream, and I'm thinking that's why comments aren't showing. So I think what I need to do first is I'm sorry guys, this is a little work talk right now I'm doing with Daniel. I think we have to do unlisted first, then private, then public. And then I think, yeah, I just don't want to have an issue where we get into the show tonight and then we can't post comments or have comments show up because I'm having to switch back and forth. I can't put comments in the stream, which I'm very upset about because I want to show everyone's comments and I can't do it. So Brian says, can you imagine Mike using this feature? Daniel says, isn't it interesting that Tesla is basically doing the same thing that YouTube is doing with automated demonetization, only they seem to do a much better job at it. Will says, LOL, you said what you were expecting to see. What were you? Yeah. I mean, what was I expecting to see? It's going to stop the goddamn car. Daniel says, let's try it. We should do an unlisted test before this. Yeah, no, we'll try that a little later today. So, okay, moving on. I have a couple more stories to go through. So this article was submitted by Brian on Patreon. So Brian, thanks for submitting this article. If you guys are patrons to my show, I'm encouraging you guys to post articles that maybe you find interesting that I'll go over. So feel free to do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do every single one you put there, but I have a very small patron base, and Brian is really the only one who's pretty active on it. So thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, man. And if you guys don't know, you can find me at patreon.com/Jerome Ortega. Again, any support is great. So thank you guys. Okay. So this article from Vice says here, Zoom iOS app sends data to Facebook, even if you don't have a Facebook account. That's great. That is great. Zoom's privacy policy isn't explicit about the data transferred to Facebook at all. As people work and socialize from home, video conferencing software Zoom has exploded in popularity. It's funny because I didn't even really hear about Zoom until a couple months ago. And now, especially that people are working from home, Zoom's all over the fucking place. What the company and its privacy policy don't make clear is that the iOS version of the Zoom app is sending some analytics data to Facebook, even if Zoom users don't have a Facebook account, according to a motherboard analysis of the app. So number one, that's already a privacy issue right off the bat. I'm glad that somebody actually took the time to see where this data was going. This sort of data transfer is not uncommon, especially for Facebook. Yeah, especially for Facebook, which is why like I rarely use it. I don't even know why I still have it. I should just get rid of it completely, but I don't know. I don't use it, but I have it. I'll occasionally peruse through it, but it's not something that I use daily anymore. Plenty of apps use Facebook software development kits, SDK, as a means to implement features into their apps more easily, which also has the effect of sending information to Facebook. But Zoom users may not be aware it's happening, nor understand that when they use one product, they may be providing data to another service altogether. That's shocking. There is nothing in the privacy policy that addresses that. Pat Walsh, an activist from Privacy Matters who has analyzed Zoom's privacy policy, said in a Twitter direct message. Upon downloading and opening the app, Zoom connects to Facebook's Graph API according to Motherboard's analysis of the app's network activity. The Graph API is the main way developers get data in or out of Facebook. The Zoom app notifies Facebook. Okay, no, the Zoom app notifies Facebook when the user opens the app, details on the user's device, such as the model, the time zone and city they are connecting from, which phone carrier they are using, and a unique advertiser identifier created by the user's device, which companies can use to target a user with advertisements. So that's fucked up already because they're taking all this info that you don't even know about. I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me. None of this surprises me anymore because they will find a way to get our info. It actually, so Adam, Mike's brother, Simply Your Device, he sent me something about, he sent me this thing on Twitter about being followed anonymously, showing people where they were moving to and from during the coronavirus outbreak. And he tweeted to me and he's like, hey, do you think this is really anonymous? And I'm like, no, not at all. Like my ass. There's no way that obviously you're being tracked. They know who you are. They just say it's anonymous, but I don't know. Maybe it's bad. It's bad for me to just say, yeah, they're following you. Like, no doubt about it. I mean, yes, we don't know for sure, but I don't know. The writing's kind of on the wall there. So the data being sent is similar to which activist group the Electronic Frontier Foundation found the app surveillance camera vendor Ring sent to Facebook. I think users can ultimately decide how they feel about Zoom and other apps sending beacons to Facebook, even if there is no direct evidence of sensitive data being shared in current versions. Um, Zoom is not forthcoming with the data collection or the transfer of it to Facebook. Zoom's policy says the company may collect users' Facebook profile information, but doesn't explicitly mention anything about sending data to Facebook on Zoom users who don't have a Facebook account at all. So again, it just sounds like there's a whole loophole here that nobody is. I mean, it's good that somebody is bringing it to the table and someone's bringing it to attention. Um, I guess my question is, what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? Facebook told Motherboard it requires developers to be transparent with users about the data their apps send to Facebook. Facebook's terms say if you use our pixels or SDKs, you further represent and warrant what you that you have provided robust and sufficiently prominent notice to users regarding the customer data collection, sharing, and usage, and specifically for apps that third parties, including Facebook, may collect or receive information from your app and other apps and use that information to provide measurement services and targeted ads. Zoom's privacy policy says our third-party service providers and advertising partners automatically collect some information about you when you use our products, but does not link the sort of activity to Facebook specifically. Zoom didn't respond to a request for a comment. Zoom has a number of other potential privacy issues too. As the EFF laid out, hosts of Zoom calls can see if participants have the Zoom window open or not, meaning they can monitor if people are likely paying attention. Administrators can also see the IP address, location data, and device information on each participant the EFF added. I don't know, that just seems like a little too much. I don't use Zoom. I know everyone's been talking about it, but I don't use it. I use StreamYard to talk to people. And then that's really about it for video conferencing. I've used FaceTime here and there. And then earlier I had that article about Duo, and that's it. So I don't know. Again, none of this is really surprising to me. It's great that someone's bringing it to light. I appreciate it also, Brian, for you sharing this with me, because it's important that this kind of stuff gets talked about. So let's see. Daniel says, I really do with that. We had an option that was a default option for all services, or you could pay a yearly fee to not have your data be sold by the company. Well, my spouse destroyed that. I really do wish that we had an option that was a default option for all services, or you could pay a yearly fee to not have your data be sold. Yeah, I don't know, man. George says, I have a privacy story for tonight that will turn your stomach. Just me giving you something to look forward to. Yeah, George, I look forward to going over that. Also, FYI, George, again, this is kind of internal work talk here, but George, I'm probably going to be a little late to the show. I told that to Will too, because I stream with my news team from 6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Central Eastern, to maybe like around 8ish to 8:15ish. So if anything, I might be coming in for the second half of the show, just FYI. I guess since I'm on this interim here, I need to start doing this a little more regularly. But guys, again, for everyone watching, thank you for joining. If you guys haven't, please feel free to like, share this video, subscribe, comment if you want, all that good, like shitty, wordy YouTube stuff. But if you guys are able to, that's really beneficial and helpful for me. As a creator, as somebody who does this for a full-time gig, and for anyone who's come in later, I was just looking at my numbers lately, and I dropped about 100 subs yesterday, or in the last 24 to 36 hours. And I think it was because I made a Pornhub video and people were just, I guess they didn't want, which is fine. But I mean, regardless of that, I've been losing about 25 subs a day. YouTube does not give a fuck about me, so I don't give a fuck about what I'm doing anymore. I mean, obviously I give a fuck about what I'm doing, but it's given me the option to just feel a little freer in what I'm doing. So, you know, I want to be me, and I sometimes I kind of fall into this weird hole where it's like, oh, I gotta please everybody, and it's like, no, I don't. This is why it's called Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting, because the next 5 articles here I think has nothing to do about tech. Maybe one of them does. But I'm just going to start talking about news that's important to me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because that's really what I care about at the end of the day. So, let's see here. No problem. I may fall asleep. Just finish my 17 miles. 17 miles on a bicycle. I can't. I walk 3 miles today, George. You have me beat, and you're at a much higher age range than I am. This guy's always outpacing me. Will says you just said it's free. Now that's all. It's probably Trump supporters. What? I lost my place. I don't know, man. I'm not out of sorts today. I feel like I'm on point today, but yeah. Brian says, geez, George, Rocky Balboa style. I know this guy's he's always crazy, man. Good for you, George. I mean, that's dedication. Okay. So, I will be very transparent. The next couple articles here are about coronavirus. So if you don't care about coronavirus, you can go. I don't really care, but these are stories I'm going to be covering because I feel like they're important. They're also interesting that I want to cover. Well, this one's kind of tech related. So this article from Android Police says Amazon will now pay you more if you're willing to wait longer for your order. No Rush Shipping now pays out $3 in Amazon content credit for Prime members. So it looks like they're not paying you directly. They're not taking $3 off of the product you're buying, but they're giving you $3 in Amazon content credit. Have you guys ever taken advantage of this? Is this something that you guys do? Like if there's something that you need to buy and you know that you're not going to get it, or you know you don't need it right away, do you take advantage of this content credit? Because most of the time I don't. I mean, I'm not an Amazon Prime member right now just because money's tight. But I mean, if $3, I mean, that you do that enough, I mean, you can end up buying, I don't know, whatever it is for digital content, right? So it says here, people are staying home and ordering even more stuff online lately. That's putting strain on delivery supply chains as warehouses and drivers struggle to keep up with increased demand. To cope, Amazon is offering Prime subscribers increased no rush shipping credit if they voluntarily delay their deliveries. You used to be able to get $1 in credit for electing to get your order a few days later. Now it's $3. You can use that credit toward digital purchases from Amazon, books on Kindle, movies through Prime Video, and the like. Amazon says no rush shipping helps it deliver faster to, quote, customers in need. I mean, I think it's a great incentive that Amazon's doing. Obviously, it helps them. It gives you a little extra. You just got to wait a little longer for your shit. So if you don't need that, I don't know, whatever it is you're buying, electric dildo, then you can kind of hold off and wait, and then you can play with it later. So again, the credit is only good. I was trying not to laugh. I was actually trying to keep a straight face. Again, the credit is only good toward digital content offered directly by Amazon, and it's only available to Prime subscribers. They're not electric. They're electric. Why am I? Again, the credit is only good toward digital content offered directly by Amazon, and it's only available to Prime subscribers. Still, $3 in exchange for waiting a few more days for your Bluetooth speaker or whatever. See, they say Bluetooth speaker, I say electric dildo. Same thing. Seems like a fair trade. You can view your rewards credit here. Okay, so let's see. So I gotta be me. Can't imagine why people would unsub from you. You're one of the more interesting personalities on YouTube. Thank you, George. That's very nice of you to say. I don't know. It's fine. It is what it is. So Brian says subscribers are fickle. Like AI said, they love you until they turn on you. Yeah, no, it is what it is. Like I'm fine with it. It's cool, guys. I appreciate your guys' support. I mean, it means a lot to me. I feel like it's important that we do what we love, regardless of what anyone thinks. So, okay. So the next few articles I have here are not the most pleasant, but I do want to talk about them because I think they're important. So I have this article here from Ars Technica that says Charter is giving techs $25 gift cards instead of hazard pay during the pandemic. Right away, I'm just going to say here, this is disgusting. Instead of bonus pay for risky work, techs get weekly $25 restaurant gift cards. Are you fucking kidding me? This is how you repay people in the front line who are doing, like, why don't the top people, right? Whoever thought of this idea, why don't you go fucking do it? and then you can give yourself these gift cards, right? Because look at what you're doing. Look at what risk you're putting to these people who probably aren't getting paid a lot anyway. They're probably contractors, right? So they're probably not getting any kind of benefits on top of it. I don't know. I don't know Charter or Spectrum or whatever. But Charter, I think, is out west, right? So this is like the Comcast or the Xfinity on the West Coast. Charter Communications is giving its cable technicians $25 restaurant gift cards instead of hazard pay for going into customer homes during the coronavirus pandemic. BuzzFeed reported yesterday. The gift cards are a quote token of our appreciation. See, that is disgusting. A token of our appreciation? Fuck off. An internal email from management on Monday said, BuzzFeed reported. Of course, many restaurants are closed during the pandemic, so restaurant gift cards aren't the most useful perk Charter management could have chosen. Yeah, of all the things, right? You're going to give them gift cards to a restaurant they can't even fucking go to. I mean, I guess what they can go get takeout or what, but this is you guys make so much fucking money, and this is how you repay people who are working the front lines for you. Just I can't I it almost speechless at this point. I have no words for it because of how disgusting it is. These gift cards never expire. Oh, well, that's great. So if you end up, if you're still alive after you contract coronavirus, because let's say you can't pay for it, right? Then you can use these gift cards later when the pandemic's over, and then you can go eat at Red Lobster. Congrats. So if you choose a restaurant that is currently not open, the card will remain valid for future use. Please take some time out of your busy day to enjoy a meal and recharge, the email read. I can't even, like, I'm so emotional about it. Like, it infuriates me. Um, it really does. It's disgusting. Several Charter employees did not appreciate the minimal gesture. It's really insensitive. It shows they don't care, one New York City-based technician told BuzzFeed. You think a gift card is supposed to make us feel better? I mean, that's well put. That's well said. No hand sanitizer or gloves. BuzzFeed previously reported that Charter technicians are being sent to customer homes without protective equipment such as masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer. The internal email to Charter technicians said the company has now, quote, secured access to hand sanitizer and gloves, which should be available for workers to use in the next few weeks. In the next few weeks, the pandemic is today. People need this shit today, according to BuzzFeed. Numerous customers have asked Charter techs why they aren't in full protective gear. Right. So actually, we have someone on our news team who needs to upgrade their internet, and somebody from AT&T is supposed to come this Saturday. I bet you he's probably not going to have, he or she is not going to have protective gear. And not that they don't want to put it on, but I'm assuming AT&T probably isn't giving it to them either. I could be wrong, but seeing how a lot of these companies are just being completely irresponsible because I'm guessing they don't want to pay for it. I just, I don't know. It stresses me out. It's been stressing me out. A Charter spokesperson told BuzzFeed that, quote, the response from the technicians to all our recent changes, along with the gift card gesture, has been very positive. I find that very hard to believe. Charter, operator of Spectrum TV and internet service, is the second largest cable company in the U.S. after Comcast. Charter has been slow to let call center workers and other office-based employees work from home during the pandemic. We interviewed several Charter employees. Can you imagine the call center right now? Because a lot of people are calling these call centers because they need to increase the internet at home because people are working from home and they need more. So obviously, more people need to work. There are going to be more people at the call centers. And can you imagine them being packed in a room? And if somebody has the coronavirus and they're spreading it, they all get sick. No one shows up. No one's thinking about it. I just don't think people are. We interviewed several charter employees about their work conditions last week, with one saying a call center is, quote, an absolute nightmare breeding ground. Yes, exactly what I was just saying. An absolute nightmare breeding ground for germs on a normal basis. By contract, Comcast and AT&T have quickly moved many employees into work from home situations. Well, that's good at least, right? Comcast and AT&T, and given extra pay to workers who have to interact with the public. AT&T's frontline employees are getting a 20% bonus, for example. Well, there you go. It's good to see at least. It's still scary though, because again, these people, and I'm not just talking about like cable technicians, right? Think about the people that work at grocery stores who are there every day. There are reports saying now that it's more about the viral load, like how often you're being exposed to coronavirus. Could have a bigger effect on you. So these people who are out every day, or who are working every day, who are interacting with people every day that might have it or whatever, and just it's scary. Again, especially because we don't know a lot about it and there's no official cure yet or vaccine. So yeah, there's a reason that people need to be careful, right? Um, and if you guys haven't noticed, the US is now number one in cases with coronavirus. Just an FYI here, I will share this with you. Uh, can I make this any bigger so you guys? Oh god damn it! Trying to prove my prove my point, and I'm getting things about dogs and ads. USA is number one right now with 94,000 cases. 94,000. Look, 9,000 new cases. Italy, 86. We've surpassed Italy in number of cases. We've surpassed China. USA is number one right now. We're number one in cases of coronavirus. But you know how we can fix it? You know how we can fix this right now? I'll give you a $25 gift card to Olive Garden. Will that fix it? God damn it. God damn it. Um, uh, I don't even want to go through this whole thing. So, no free service for people with unpaid bills. Charter was also criticized by New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio for not letting customers with unpaid bills take advantage of free service during the pandemic. Charter on March 13th said it would give new customers with children in school free internet access for 60 days. But as teachers, elected officials, and friends directed low income families to those companies for help, some soon learned they couldn't take advantage of the deals because of previously unpaid bills. Again, disgusting. We're just put in a position where we're kind of fucked, right? And you can't afford it. Well, then fuck off. That's how I see this story as. That's how I relate to it. I don't really want to go into much more on that because it's infuriating for me. So, okay. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot. Uh, so George says that's as classless as it gets. I think Charter is right there with Comcast, not just out west, though. Charter was in Cleveland, Tennessee when I began working in Chattanooga in 2006. Daniel says the 1920s are calling. They want their business policy back. um, Daniel says, I wonder if these gift cards are non-transferable so that if you pass away, your family can't use them. Why does that not surprise me? Also, Jerome factored this into the conversation we were having yesterday about employees at a supermarket getting re-exposed. Yeah, yeah. George says, wasn't surprised at US being number one in cases, considering we're much more populated, the vast majority of countries. Will says, woohoo, woohoo, in my Homer Simpson voice, and much larger in landmass. Yeah, I just feel like we were so unprepared and there was more we could have done. And here we are now. So, okay, I got three more, guys. So, this article from Engadget says staying social when you're forced to isolate. As millions of us adapt to new lives in relative isolation, we're being forced to find increasingly creative ways to keep ourselves entertained. Luckily, social distancing doesn't mean we have to be lonely, and hanging out with friends doesn't have to be limited to phone calls and FaceTime. Hosting a remote game night or movie marathon is not only doable, but easier than you might expect. With the right planning and a bit of creativity, you can have almost as much fun as the real deal. I I I I want to be positive and say, yeah, like, I mean, there are ways to do it. And Sorry, guys. It's a lot. So getting prepped. While virtual hangouts shouldn't require much more planning. Sorry, guys. Then in real life get-togethers, they do require a different type of prep. Okay, guys, I probably can't finish it right now. This is it's a little tough for me. There was one article I really wanted to get to, and I'll get into that maybe later. But you know, this one was the one that really bothered me. Is there was someone under 18 who passed away, who had the coronavirus, and he didn't have the health care. I don't have health care. Okay, guys. I'll be streaming tonight with Hard Lens Media at 6 p.m. Central. I'll be doing Friday Night Tech Talk at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see ya.